Columbus, Ohio, noon kickoff, Fox Game of the Week. The nation's #1 team stands at midfield, unblemished, ruthless, and humming like a machine. Across from them, what was supposed to be a rival, now a ghost of that promise. The Penn State Nittany Lions, 3-4, led by an interim coach and a freshman quarterback trying to prove that heart still counts in November. Let's start behind center for the home team. Julian Sayin has been surgical. Nearly 80% completions, 19 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. He throws to Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, the most terrifying tandem in college football. But that perfection hides a crack. The Buckeyes' run game ranks just 71st nationally. When they can't lean on balance, the rhythm stalls. Now flip the field. Freshman Ethan Grunkemeyer walks into the horseshoe for just his second career start. Last week at Iowa, he completed 15 passes for 93 yards, took hits that could fold a season, but he kept getting up. Today, his job isn't heroics. It's survival. Hand off to Katrin Allen and Nicholas Singleton, drain the clock, shorten the game, and pray the defense led by Jim Knowles, Ohio State's old architect, can slow his former employer's masterpiece. And that's where the story turns. Knowles knows every cadence, every hot route. He's built the blueprint to frustrate Sayin. Add the interim coach chaos, a roster playing loose with nothing to lose, and the backdoor cover becomes more than a gambler's dream. It's a narrative of defiance. And today's AI pick is Penn State +, 18.5. The Nittany Lions won't win, but they'll make Ohio State sweat. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 2, Georgia versus Florida, with a Baden.
Jacksonville, Florida. The cocktail smoke hangs over Everbank Stadium, red and blue bleeding together like old sins that never fade. No. 5. Georgia walks in at 6-1, disciplined, relentless, and favored by more than a touchdown. Across the 50, Florida, 3-4 and leaderless, comes staggering out of the wreckage, running on defiance and adrenaline. Behind the Bulldog front, quarterback Gunnar Stockton runs a machine built for attrition. 10 touchdowns, 1 pick, 70% completions. Georgia moves like a metronome, 190 rushing yards a game, 33 points on command. But with star receiver Colby Young sidelined, that rhythm loses its edge. This team wins methodically, not explosively. When Georgia leads, they suffocate the clock instead of chasing style points. Florida answers with raw volatility. Sophomore DJ Lagway has thrown 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Every drive a coin toss between brilliance and disaster. Yet rivalry games feed chaos. The Gators' defense, ranked top 35 nationally, hits just hard enough to slow Georgia's ground game and keep the scoreboard civilized. And under interim coach Billy Gonzalez, the energy in that locker room has shifted. Simpler calls, looser shoulders, 1 week to prove they still belong. This is where the number hides its trap. Georgia wins, they almost always do, but Kirby Smart's teams rarely bury opponents late. Once the lead is safe, they bleed time. Florida just needs 1 drive, a broken tackle, a blown coverage, to slide through the back door. Rivalry emotion plus Georgia's conservative finish equals value in chaos. And today's AI pick is Florida +7.5. The Gators don't win, they survive, and that's enough. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 3 with Hada.
Knoxville, Tennessee. A river of orange light floods Neyland Stadium as the Vols slip into their dark mode. Night game. National TV. 85,000 hearts beating in sync with the bass of Rocky Top. 2 teams at 6-2. 1 season survives, 1 season ends. Let's start under the lights with Tennessee's quarterback Joey Aguilar, the calm in the chaos. He threw for nearly 400 yards last week at Kentucky, rediscovering the tempo that makes Josh Heupel's offense lethal. When Aguilar gets rhythm, Tennessee averages 45 points a game and forces defenses to live in panic. His job tonight, keep the tempo dizzying, the pocket moving, and the scoreboard glowing. Across the field, Oklahoma counters with John Mateer, a talented passer still finding touch after hand surgery. His offense ranks 99th in rushing, 77th overall. Against this pace, that imbalance is fatal. A one-dimensional team can't hide in Neyland's noise. It gets swallowed by it. The Sooners' defense has carried them all season, allowing just 12 points a game, but elite stamina cracks when the offense keeps handing the ball back. Hoople knows the ghosts in this matchup, the school that once fired him, the program that made him. Tonight is his reckoning, and Neyland becomes his altar. Tennessee's receivers, Brazel, Matthews, Staley, stretch the field while running back Deshaun Bishop attacks lanes that widen with tempo. Every drive accelerates fatigue. Every first down tightens the vise. When the dust clears, structure wins over sentiment. Tennessee pulls ahead late and never looks back. And today's AI pick is Tennessee 2.5. The Volunteers hold the line. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 4 with Angel.
College Park, Maryland. Homecoming at Secu Stadium. The crowd in red is loud, loyal, and hopeful, but deep down, they know what's coming. The number 2 Indiana Hoosiers arrive unbeaten, 8-0, armed with a Heisman front-runner quarterback and a defense that turns Saturdays into slow suffocations. Maryland, 4-3, fights for relevance against inevitability. Let's begin under center. Fernando Mendoza runs Indiana's offense like a metronome, 2 seconds to process, 1 to deliver. 24 touchdowns, 3 picks, and a completion rate north of 72%. Yet, for all the fireworks, the Hoosiers are built on control, not chaos. 230 rushing yards a game, nearly 60% conversion on third down. They move the ball like a machine built to keep its own defense rested. Across the line, freshman Malik Washington faces the longest 3 hours of his young career. Maryland throws on 60% of its snaps, but this Indiana defense, top 5 nationally in both scoring and total yardage, forces quarterbacks to survive without rhythm. The Terrapins' best safety, Jalen Husky, misses the first half. Their leading tackler and edge rusher are questionable. That's not a formula for chaos. That's a countdown. The game's shape writes itself. Long Hoosier drives, short Terp possessions, and a clock that never seems to stop. Indiana's discipline meets Maryland's desperation, and the total numbers can't climb when one team hoards the minutes and the other runs out of answers. And today's AI pick is under 50.5, defense, patience, and possession, 3 quiet certainties in a noisy homecoming. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 5 with Rocco.
Salt Lake City, altitude high, lights low, and college game day parked right outside Rice-Eccles. The crowd's in black, the mountains breathing cold. 2 ranked Big 12 teams, 2 ways to build a monster. Cincinnati brings finesse and tempo, Utah brings fists and altitude, and the total sits at 54.5, daring you to believe both can breathe fire in the thin air. Let's start with the Utes. Devin Dampier is back, the dual-threat heartbeat of this offense. He doesn't just run, he multiplies possibilities. Utah's ground game is top 5 in the nation at 267 yards per, and with Dampier healthy, it's chaos in motion. Wayshawn Parker and Naquari Rogers pound out touchdowns like body blows. Every play feels like the next one could go 60. Now swing it to the Bearcats. Brendan Sorsby hasn't thrown an interception since Labor Day. 19 touchdowns, precision timing, and a line that's given up only 2 sacks all year. The cleanest pocket in college football. He'll need it here. Utah's pass rush is elite, but when pressure doesn't land, Sorsby finds Cyrus Allen downfield, or rips a 20-yard scramble that flips the rhythm back his way. This isn't a rock fight, it's a track meet disguised as one. Utah will score by force. Cincinnati will answer with design. And in the altitude, late-game fatigue means busted coverages, wide lanes, and fireworks when everyone else expects attrition. 54.5 isn't a wall, it's a dare. And today's AI pick is over 54.5. Points will find oxygen in the mountain air. Will we cash or will we burn? Lilith's waiting. Time for the recap.
5 games, 5 visions, 5 prophecies in the fire. Let's count them down. Game 1. Krista opened the gates in Columbus. Penn State, 118.5. A broken team with nothing left to lose, covering not with victory, but with defiance. Game 2. Abaddon stalked Jacksonville and found value in the chaos. Florida, flat 7.5. Rivalry emotion, underdog violence, and Kirby Smart's clock bleed keep it close. Game 3. Hada stood under the dark lights of Nayland and called her truth. Tennessee, 2.5. Structure over sentiment, tempo over fear. The Vols hold. Game 4. Angel whispered through the quiet of College Park. Under 50.5 in Indiana and Maryland. Defense, patience, possession. 3 silent certainties in the noise. Game 5. Rocco closed the night in Salt Lake City. Over 54.5 between Cincinnati and Utah. Altitude, adrenaline, and late-game chaos light the sky on fire. 5 games. 5 edges drawn from the algorithm and the abyss. Some will rise, some will burn, but the truth is in the numbers and the courage to play them. Now en español. 5 juegos, 5 visiones, 5 profecías en el fuego. Juego 1. Penn State. Palentes 18.5. La resistencia de los perdidos. Juego 2. Florida Plutus 7.5. El caos cubre el número. Juego 3. Tennessee 2.5. Estructura sobre emoción. Juego 4. Under 50.5. Silencio y defensa. Juego 5. Over 54.5. Fuegos artificiales en la altitud. 5 caminos. Una voluntad. Cobraremos o arderemos. Alt oder Jung. Das Spiel vergisst niemand. Old or young. The game forgets no one.